Hey, what's going on, guys? Jason here again, and this is part 5 of the React Movie API project series. And so currently what we have on our project at the moment is what we have here. So if I search for a movie, Spider-Man, we get a list of different movie cards, and yeah, so that's currently what we have at the moment. So these links don't work. So in this video, what I want to work on is handling or doing the pagination. So our API, so if I do a search for like this, for example, Spider-Man, I actually have a list of, let's see. So if you look in our API object that we get back, as you can see, there's a total results property that says 53. So we actually have 53 movies that we get back, but we are currently only showing the first 20. So what I want to do is I want to set up pagination so that I can go through and view all of the movies that we get back. So in our endpoint, we'll add a page property and we'll give it a page number. So that way we can get back the data for that particular page. So we'll be going over that today. So let's get into it. Cool. So then for the first thing I'm going to do is in our state, I will add a couple properties. First one, let's see, will be total results and set that to 0. Let's see, total results. All right. So this will just be the, this will just contain the total amount of movies that we get back from our API request. And the second thing I'm going to do is add current page, and so this will keep track of what page we're currently on. And then I'll do, yep, so that should be it for now. All right, so let's see. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a method. I'll call it next page. Let's see. And what this method will do is it'll basically fire every time we click on our pagination link. So if I click on the next button or a particular page number, we're going to fire off this next page method. So let's see, we'll do page number. All right. So then this page, next page method will take in a page number that we want to go to. So then whenever this fires, I'm going to make a fetch an AJAX request or fetch request to the MovieDB API. And what I'm going to add in here is, let's see, I'm going to add a page parameter, and then in there I'm going to add in the page number argument that we pass into the method. So then when we fire off this, or when we make this request, we'll add this page parameter here with the page number, so that way the API can know that you're trying to access these particular sets of movies in this particular page. So that looks good. All right. And let's see. So I'm going to, yep. So then we get the data back from the API. We're going to set the movies. And then I'm also going to set the current page. We'll set that to the page number that we pass in. Okay, let's see. And one other thing I'm going to add is in the handle submit method. Let's see. In the handle submit method, I'm going to update the total results property in our state. So when we initially get the data from the movies, I want to basically set the total results here. So let's see, we'll do So I believe it would be data dot total results is what that property was named. All right, that looks good. Just go back real quick, no errors. Oops, make sure I start my server. Okay, takes a little bit to start. Okay, so then everything looks like it's working. Cool. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, let's see. So now that we have the next page method set up, what we want to do now is I'm going to create a component and I'll call it Pagination. So then, let's see. So then I'll just go ahead and, we don't currently have this component yet, but I'll just pretend that we have it at the moment so you guys can see what props we're going to pass in. So we'll do import pagination from pagination. And then so then I'm going to create a variable here called number pages. And what this variable will hold will be the total amount of pages that we will have for based off how many movies that we get back from the API. And so what the API returns is it gives us a list of movies in sets of 20 movies. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some logic here. So I'll do math.floor, do this dot state dot total results. So this will be the total movies that we get back, or that the API says that we have for that particular query. And then I'm going to divide that by 20. And so I'll divide that by 20 and then round it down. So it'll give us the number of pages that we will need for our pagination. Okay, looks like, let's see, oh, I have to put this outside the return. Oops. That's why we were getting an error message there. All right, that looks good. Cool. So then now I will add the pagination in here. So I'm going to add a conditional here. So what I'm going to do is do this dot state dot total results greater than 20, not 30, 20. All right. So then what I'm doing is if the total results, so the total amount of movies that we get back is greater than 20, I want to display the pagination bar because we'll need pagination to view all the movies. If it's not greater than 20, then we don't need a pagination bar at the bottom. So I'll do pagination, and then I'm going to add some props. So we'll do pages, number of pages. So that's going to be the pages that we need for the pagination. And I'm also going to add the next page method, pass that as a prop. So I'll do this dot next page. That looks good. And the last prop will be current page. This dot state dot current page. Okay, so all right, so if this condition is true, we will display the pagination component, and if it isn't, we'll just display an empty string, so we won't display anything. All right, that looks good. Go ahead and save that. And now I'll go ahead and create the pagination component, pagination.js in the components folder. All right, let's see, oh, never mind. All right, so now I will import React from React. That looks good. And this will be a functional component, so it'll be pagination. Pass in the props in there. All right. Okay, so then pagination, we're going to render out the pagination bar. So what I'm going to do is I need to add some logic to make sure I render out the correct amount of numbers for the pagination, based off how many pages that we have passed into the pagination as a prop. So then what I'm going to do is I'll create a variable called page links. Let's see. So page links, that will basically just be the number link on the pagination bar. So this array will hold all the li tags for that particular page number. So then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to create a for loop. And what this for loop is going to do, we're basically going to take the number of pages from our props. So if we have 5 pages, I'm going to take that amount of pages, and then I'm going to do a for loop and iterate over the amount of pages. And then while I'm iterating, I'm going to create a li tag with the correct number associated with that pagination number, if that makes sense. So if it doesn't make sense, maybe it'll make sense once I actually finish writing it out. But let's do a let I equals 0. Oh, sorry, 0 there. I'm sorry, I'm actually going to do 1 because I want to start with 1, because it's going to go from 1 up to however many page links we need. So we'll do 1 there. So I less than props.pages plus 1 I plus plus. All right, and I'm going to create a variable here called active, and this will basically just contain a string called active. So if we're currently on the 4th page, I want to make sure the UI highlights that particular page number on the pagination bar. So we're gonna add some logic here to make sure the class is correct for that UI. So then we'll do active equals props.current page I. So if the current page that we're on is equal to the I that we're iterating through, we will set this to active. If not, we'll just leave it blank. There we go. Cool. So then we'll do page links dot push, and then I'm going to, let's see. So we're going to push an li tag. So this li tag will have a class name equal, add some curly braces there, and then we'll do waves, and this is the class from the Google Materialize framework. So waves effect, and then if that particular, let's see, oops, I'm sorry, these actually should be backticks. So we'll switch those to backticks there. All right. So then we're going to add here the active class. So then if the current page we're on is equal to the I that we're iterating over, then we're going to set that active. So we're going to do that there. Cool. And then we'll do, let's see, class name. So now I'll add a key. We'll go ahead and pass an I on click. So we're going to add a method here for that particular link. So we'll do, so we're going to do a function, and then we'll do props dot next page, pass an I, there we go. So whenever we click on that particular page link number, we want to run that next page method. And then we'll do, let's see if this, nope, all right. Let's see, we're going to add a anchor tag here. Oops. And then, all right, cool. So let's see, so we have an anchor tag, and then we'll go ahead and give this the value of I, which will be the number for the page. It looks good. All right. Let's see, everything looks good so far. All right, so then now that we have that set up, I'm going to return the rest of the UI here. So we'll do a return statement, and then we'll do div. Oops, I'm sorry. So we'll do div.container, and then we'll do div.row, and then we'll do a UL. Actually, let me do pagination. Okay. So in here then we can go ahead and pass our page links. Cool. So if I go down here at the bottom, I'll go ahead and export default pagination. All right, let's see if we get any errors here. So far, so good. Let's do Spider-Man. All right, so there we go. We get our pagination. So we get the first page. As you can see, we have this number highlighted. And if we click on the second page, we're going to fire off that next page method. So it'll make a request to the API. And then it's going to highlight this second pagination link. If we go to the third one, it'll do that. All right, that looks good. So then what I want to do now is I want to add a next page or previous page. So if we go back over here, what we need to do is under the UL, I'm going to add some logic. So what I'll do is I'll do props dot current page greater than 1. So we're adding this conditional. So if the current page is greater than 1, I want to go ahead and render out, make sure I'm showing the previous page link, because we're on the page that's greater than 1. So then what we'll do is we'll add the li. Let's see, I think we can just go ahead and copy this. And we can just remove this key. We don't need that. All right. So then that looks good. So then now let's see, getting a error here. Oh, right, because I need to make sure. So if it's greater than 1, we don't want to display anything. So that's why I added that there. All right, so I'll copy that. So then down here, now what we want to do, in order to show the next page link, I want to make sure that the current page is less than props.pages plus 1. Okay. So let's see. Right, so then if the current page we're on is less than the amount of pages, total pages plus 1, then we want to display the link, the next page link. But if we're on the last page, so then if this condition, if the current page is, if this condition isn't met, meaning that it's greater than the props pages plus 1, then it will not display the next page link. So then let's go ahead and save this. Let's see, line 16, active is not defined. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so we don't actually need this active class, so we don't need to display an active class on the next or previous page. All right, that looks good. Line 16, 1, our I is not defined. That's correct. We don't actually want to show the number. We want to show prev. I'll just do prev. And then here I'll do next. Line 16 and 18. Let's see. Oh, sorry. So, right. So then on the next page, okay, gotcha. So, so we don't actually want to pass in I right there. What we want to pass in is props dot current page minus 1. So because we're going to the previous page, we want to grab the current page and minus down 1. So then for the next page, we just want to do the opposite. So we're going to do plus 1. All right. Let's look for again. All right, so as you can see, since we are on the first page, we're not showing the previous link, but we're showing the next. So if we do next, it'll take us to the next page, and we go next again. It'll actually go away because we're on the last page. So that looks good. All right, everything looks good so far. Let's see. All right, so I think we are finished with that. Everything looks like it's working correctly. Let's see if I'm missing anything. I think that should be it for that. All right, cool. All right, awesome. So, so yeah, for the next video, or I'm gonna actually give it a pause or stop the video here. And in the next video, what I think I'll do is go ahead and set up the view details component. So what we're going to do is basically just set up a component so that when we click on this view details, we'll get a like a square here or some type of layout that'll just show the details of the movie as well as an image. So we'll just add like additional details to the movie, like for example, let's see what additional details we get, like the title, original title, and an overview. So we'll go ahead and add that. But for now, I'm just going to stop the video here. I think this is a good stopping point. So yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys.